Good morning. So today we are going to discuss stability of ionic solids in terms of their radius ratio. Okay. So we know ionic solids are made up of ions. Okay. So ionic solids are made up of ions. And there is strong electrostatic force of attraction between these ions. Okay. Ionic solids are made up of ions, and these means there is strong electrostatic force of attraction between these ions. Okay, then one more thing, size of cation is always less than the parent atom. Okay, means size of cation is less than size of the anion. Means if it is size of cation, then size of cation is less than size of atom, and it is less than size of anion. Getting? Means size of cation is always less than the parent atom, and size of anion is always greater than the parent atom. So this is the order of size of cation, atom and their anion. Okay. So for greater force of attraction, we know if it is ionic solid, then electrostatic force of attraction between these ions plays a vital role in the stability of the ionic solids. So for greater electrostatic force of attraction, for greater electrostatic force of attraction, a particular cation must be in contact with must be present in contact with maximum anion and vice versa. Okay. For greater electrostatic force of attraction, okay, between the ions, a particular cation must be present in contact with maximum anions and vice versa. Means a particular anion must be present in contact with maximum cations. Okay, means like this. In both cases we can see if it is cation, I am writing it C plus for cation, okay, then all these are anions, okay. And in this figure, if it is cation, then all these are anion. Okay, so we can clearly see size of anion is more in this case, and that's why only 4 anions are surrounding one cation, means in this case coordination number is equal to 4. But in this case size of anion is small, okay, in comparison to this size of anion is smaller, okay. So we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 anions are surrounding one cation. So here coordination number will be equal to 6. Means what does this mean? If size of anion is smaller, then it will more and more anion will surround a cation, and if more and more anion will surround a cation, then the electrostatic force of attraction between them will be more, and if electrostatic force of attraction between them will be more, then stability of the ionic solids, okay, will increase, okay. So we can say that radius of cations and anions influences stability of ionic solids, okay. So one term that is known as radius ratio is defined in this context, and this is radius ratio okay, and it is defined as the ratio of the radius of the cation to the radius of the anion. Got it? What is radius ratio? It is the ratio of the radius of the cation to the radius of the anion. So we can say radius ratio is equal to, that is radius ratio is equal to size of cation, means radius of cation upon radius of anion, okay. This is also, means we say radius of cation can also be written as R plus, and radius of anion can also be written as R minus, minus for anion, plus for cation, okay. This ratio is also known as, this radius ratio is also known as limiting radius ratio, or critical radius ratio, okay. Radius ratio is also known as limiting radius ratio and critical radius ratio. Okay, and this radius ratio is responsible this radius ratio is responsible the radius ratio predicts, we can say predicts geometry and coordination number, geometry and coordination number of a crystal, of ionic crystal, say ionic crystal. Got it? Radius ratio can predict geometry and coordination number of a ionic radius ratio. Okay, so how can it predict geometry and coordination number? Okay, I am going to give you one chart. Okay, and right here radius ratio means r plus upon r minus, radius of cation upon radius of anion. Right here coordination number and right here geometry. So if radius ratio is 0.155, okay, less than 0.155, then coordination number will be equal to 2 and geometry will be linear. Got it? If this radius ratio lies in between 0.155 to 0.225, then coordination number will be 3 and the geometry will be trigonal pyramidal, sorry, trigonal planar, trigonal planar. What is trigonal planar? Okay, means between these angle of 120 degree. Okay, trigonal planar, all are lying on the same plane and 120 degree angle is in between them. Okay, and if this radius ratio will be ranging from 0.225 to 0.414, then the coordination number will be equal to 4 and geometry is equal to tetrahedral. Again, if this is from 0.414 to 0.732, then coordination number will be equal to 6 and geometry will be octahedral. Okay, if this will be equal to 0.732 and greater than this value, okay, then coordination number will be 8 and geometry will be body centered cubic unit cell. Okay, so there is a chart. If the radius ratio means radius of cation, okay, upon radius of anion will be less than 0.155, then coordination number will be 2 and geometry will be linear. If it will be in between 0.155 to 0.225, then coordination number will come 3 and geometry will be trigonal planar. Again, if it will fall in 0.225 to 0.414, then coordination number will be 4 and it will be tetrahedral. If it will be ranging from 0.414 to 0.732, then coordination number will be 6 and it is octahedral. And if it is more than 0.732, say it is up to 1, then coordination number will be 8 and it is BCC. Okay, just solve one question based upon this. Okay, so question is, predict the structure of MgO. Predict the structure of MgO, magnesium oxide crystal, and the coordination number of the cation, coordination number Cn, coordination number of the cation in which the radius of the cation, in which the radius of the cation and anion are 65 picometer and 140 picometer and 140 picometer respectively. Got it? Question is, predict the structure of MgO crystal and the coordination number. Means we have to predict what will be geometry and what will be the coordination number of MgO crystal. We have given radius of cation and anion. Okay, and radius of cation means R plus is given as 65 picometer and radius of anion R minus is given as 140 picometer. Okay, you have given radius of cation and radius of anion and you have to just predict what will be the geometry and coordination number of the MgO crystal. So we know, we will just find out radius ratio. Okay, so radius ratio will be equal to radius of the cation, that is 65 picometer, upon radius of the anion, that is 140 picometer. Okay, so it will be picometer, it will get cancelled out. It is 140, 65, so 13 5 is 65 and 5 2 is 10, 4 28. Okay, so it will be 13 divided by 28, so it will be equal to 28. So 4 3 is 24. Okay, 8 3 11. Okay, it will be 3 6. So means it will equal to 0.464. okay, means this radius ratio r plus upon r minus is coming out equal to 0.464. okay, now just try to remember that chart which I have given you. It is falling in the range from 0.414 to 0.732. okay, it is 0.64, so it is falling in this range. So we say coordination number in this case, I told you coordination number in this case is equal to 6. Coordination number in this case is equal to 6, and the geometry I told you in this case is equal to octahedral. Got it? So by finding the radius ratio, we are able to answer the coordination number and the geometry of the crystal. Okay. Now we will be discussing density of a unit cell. So our heading is density of a unit cell. Suppose we are having a unit cell and let the age of this unit cell is a picometer. Okay, so let a unit cell of edge length a picometer. Let an unit cell of edge length a picometer, means a into 10 to the power minus 10 centimeter. Okay, picometer means 1 picometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 12 meter or 10 to the power minus 10 centimeter. So I am writing here a into 10 to the power minus 10 centimeter, because we are going to calculate density, and density is measured in gram per centimeter cube. Gram per centimeter cube. That's why I am taking this value in cm. Okay. Second thing, if it is a unit cell, okay, then certain atoms will be occupying, okay, corner side or corner sides or body or at the faces or at the edges. We don't know what which kind of unit cell is this. Okay, we are simply going to derive a general formula for density of a unit cell. So we are not knowing the kind of unit cell. Okay, so in general way we are going to derive it. So we are not knowing how many atoms and at which places these atoms are placed in the unit cell. So simply we are going to discuss, we know if it is unit cell then certain atoms will be there, okay, occupying the corners or body center or face center or edge center. Okay, so let an unit cell of edge length a picometer and radius r centimeter. Okay, don't write this. Okay, Then you know density. What is density? If we are going to find density of unit cell, density is equal to mass upon volume. So it will be mass of the unit cell, divided by volume of the unit cell. Got it? So what will be the mass of the unit cell? Mass of the unit cell will be equal to the mass of the atom which are present inside the unit cell. Okay, and we are not knowing the number of atoms present, so we will simply write it here Z. Okay, so we have to find out mass of the unit cell, and then we will be finding volume of the unit cell. So first thing is mass of the unit cell, mass of the unit cell. So mass of unit cell will be equal to the mass of the atoms. Okay, let there are Z atoms present, so you have to multiply it, okay, by Z. So Z into, okay, let the mass of the atom, okay, let the mass of the atom be m gram upon Avogadro number, means right here n naught. Okay, so it is mass of the unit cell. Mass of the unit cell will be the mass of the atoms present. If there are Z atoms present, so Z multiplied by mass of one atom. Okay, right here mass of one atom. Then in next step we will be writing this mass of one atom. So it will be Z into mass of one atom will be given by its molar mass upon Avogadro number. Okay, means Z into molar mass, say it is m gram, Avogadro number is n naught, it is represented as n naught, and you know value of Avogadro number n naught, it is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Got it? Avogadro number is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, and it is denoted as N0, means Avogadro number. Okay, so mass of atom will be molar mass upon Avogadro number. Molar mass, let's say it is m gram, and Avogadro number is n naught or n0. Okay, so mass of unit cell came out to be Z into m upon n0, where n0 is Avogadro number, m is molar mass of the unit cell. We have to calculate edge length of the unit cell. Okay, and we have supposed edge length of unit cell to be equal to 10 to the power minus 10 centimeter. Okay, so we know edge length is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 centimeter. Okay, so volume will be equal to volume of unit cell will be equal to a cube, means it will be equal to 10 to the power minus 10 cm whole cube, means 10 to the power minus 30 centimeter per cube. So this is volume of unit cell and this is mass of the unit cell. We are having both of these. Now we can calculate density of the unit cell. Okay, so right here density of unit cell, density of unit cell and density of unit cell will be equal to mass of the unit cell upon volume of the unit cell means m upon v. M we have calculated z into m, z into m in gram, okay, upon n0 number, and volume of unit cell is equal to 10 to the power minus 30. So right here 10 to the power minus 30. I am rubbing this. Okay. So mass of unit cell is equal to z into m in gram upon n naught, okay, are divided by 1 by 10 to the power minus 30 centimeter cube, means it will be equal to z into m gram per centimeter cube upon n naught into 10 to the power minus 30, or we will say it is equal to z into m into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 into 10 to the power minus 30. So this is volume of unit cell, sorry, density of unit cell. So using this formula we are now able to solve numericals based upon density of unit cell. Okay. Okay, so we will be solving some of the numericals. Okay. Question is, silver forms CCP lattice and X-ray studies of its crystal so that the edge length of its unit cell is it is 408.6 picometer. Calculate the density of silver. Calculate the density of silver. And here atomic mass of silver is given, and it is equal to 107.9. Okay. So silver forms CCP lattice, and X-ray studies of its crystal show that the edge length of its unit cell is 408.6 picometer. Calculate the density of silver. Means we have to find out the density of silver. So we have discussed density is equal to Z into M gram per centimeter cube upon 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 into edge length. Okay, into edge length. So okay, a cube, it is a cube. Got it? So it is Z is effective number of atom, means total number of atoms present. So silver forms CCP lattice. Okay, so if it is forming CCP lattice, so in CCP cubic closed packed lattice, Z comes out to be 4. So Z is equal to 4 in this case. Okay, and edge length is given 408.6 picometer. A is given as 408.6 into, we say, 10 to the power minus 10 cm. Okay, so volume will be equal to a cube. So it is 408.6 into 10 to the power minus 10 cm whole cube. Okay, so just find out this value of a cube, find the put this value here. Okay, Avogadro number, you know value of Avogadro number. Z you are having 4, this M is given here 107.9. okay, so in place of, means write here 4 into M is 107.9, then gram centimeter cube per cube upon 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 into a cube, means 408.6 into 10 to the power minus 10 whole cube. Okay, just solve out okay, just try to solve this and you will get density of the unit cell. So this is the process. Okay, means using this formula we can find out the density of a unit cell. Okay, now come to next question. Okay, just solve it at your home. Okay, do it by yourself. I have told you means how to put these things, how to put the values. Okay, now you have to solve it by your own. Okay, now next question is, the radius of copper atom, the radius of copper atom is 128 picometer, is 128 picometer. If it crystallizes, in FCC, what will be the length of, what will be the length of the edge of the unit cell. Okay. Question is, the radius of copper atom is 128 picometer. So we have given here radius. So R is given here 128 picometer. Okay. If it crystallizes in FCC, if it is crystallizes in FCC, face centered cubic unit cell. Okay. Face centered cubic unit cell means atoms are present at the corners and at all the faces. Okay. So this is FCC. Now what will be the length of the edge of the unit cell? Means we have to answer the value of A. If it is FCC, then we can say A, B, C. Okay. We are drawing a face diagonal AC, and face diagonal AC is this is AC. Okay, means we have calculated this AC will be equal to root 2 here, root 2 A here, if we will suppose edge length to be equal to A. So this will be equal to root 2 A, and AC, okay, means R plus R plus R plus R, means AC is equal to 4R, and AC is also equal to root 2A. So we will say root 2A is equal to 4R. R is given here and we have to find out value of A. So from this, A will be equal to 4 by root 2 into R. R is given as 128. Okay. So it will be equal to 2 root 2 into 128 picometer. So it will be equal to 65256 into root 2 1.41 picometer, means it will be equal to 256 1.41. So 256 4 6 9 0 360.96, when it is equal to 360.1 picometer. So A is equal to 360.1 picometer. Okay, means in this question radius of copper atom is given 128 picometer, R is given, okay, and it is forming FCC. So we know FCC means all the atoms are present at the corners and on the faces of the cube. Okay, so if it is FCC, then we say AC will be equal to 4R, and also AC is equal to root 2A. So from here we will calculate value of A, and it will be equal to 4 by root 2 R. R we have, we are knowing value of R, so put here value of R and you will get, okay, the value of edge length here. Now next question is, Na crystallizes in BCC, sodium crystallizes in BCC unit cell with edge length 4.29 angstrom. Then what is the radius of the sodium atom? What is the radius of sodium atom? And what is the length of the body diagonal? What is the length of the body diagonal of the unit cell Okay, so question is, sodium crystallizes in BCC, body centered cubic unit cell, with edge length 4.29 angstrom. Means we have given edge length is equal to 4.29 angstrom. A is equal to 4.29 angstrom. Okay. Now what is the radius of Na atom? We have to find out radius. Okay. So if it is body centered cubic unit cell, then we know, if it is body centered cubic unit cell, then in case of body centered cubic unit cell, atoms are present at the corners and one atom is present, okay, at the body, main body. So what is, we know body diagonal is, if it is A, it is D, then AD is the body diagonal. AD is the body diagonal. Means AD is like this. A, D, and this one is R, 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 and R. Okay, so this is body diagonal AD, but before calculating the body diagonal, we have to calculate the radius. Okay, so we know here simply one relation we have derived in this case, that is root 3a will be equal to 4r. Root 3a is equal to 4r. Okay, we have derived this earlier. Okay, so from here we will say we have to find out r. So r will be equal to root 3 by 4 into a. Root 3 is 1.732 upon 4 into a is given as 4.29 angstrom. Okay, so it will be equal to 410.728 1.25. okay, means it is equal to 1.732 into 107 means 1.0725. okay, so radius we have to find. Okay, we know body, this is body diagonal, and body diagonal in this case is equal to root 3. Root 3 is equal to 4r. okay, so r will be equal to root 3 upon 4. okay, so multiply these two. okay, then you will get radius, and we know body diagonal is equal to r plus r plus r plus r means 4r. so after calculating the radius, multiply the radius by 4, it will give you the body diagonal. okay, so means these kind of problems you will be solving. okay, means all these are value based, okay, data based problem. Simply you have to know the basics, okay, and the basic formulas, then you can solve this easily. okay, we will be calculating more numericals, okay, in next class. okay, thank you.